Hi there, it's me, Megan, and welcome back to the Learn to Monetize More video series. Today, we'll look inside Google Ad Exchange and teach you how to run a query. Google Ad Exchange houses a vast amount of data. The querying tool allows you to inspect and analyze that data in countless ways. Because the querying tool is so rich in features, it's an acquired skill that takes practice to master. Once you've become familiar with it, you can average the intel derived from your user's behavior based on the metrics you choose. Are you ready to start learning Google Ad Exchange's querying tool? Let's begin. Queries are the specific details that make up an ad exchange performance report, such as dimensions, metrics, dates, and filter values. When creating or running a query, we have three methods. The first method is to define the query by our own parameters. To do this, we create a query. The information contained within the report are sortable by columns. The second method is to copy a system-defined query under System Queries. System queries show data for specific categories for a given date range. For example, you can create a predefined query for ad units performance for a specific date range. The metrics within the report are also sortable by columns. The third method of running a query report is via Diagnostic Queries. Diagnostic queries display website data for rejected ad requests and crawler errors. In this lesson, we are going to use method number 1, creating a query by parameters of our choosing. I'll take you through the various metrics and parameters available for such a report and explain what each of these details mean. To create and run a query, we click on the Query tool from the main menu within our Ad Exchange account, New Query. It's possible we may want to run this My Query again, or perhaps copy it down the road. Consequently, we recommend being as specific as possible in naming the query so that it can be easily identified later. In this example, I'm going to name the query MonetizeMore.com _ by ad tag _ last 7 days. It's time to input the date range. To do so, we simply click Edit to specify the date range. We can also choose from a list of earlier predefined dates or custom dates. Predefined dates permit only a predefined date range, while custom dates permit you to choose the start and end date. The custom dates option is usually best for one-time queries. If you plan on running this report query on a periodic or recurring basis, you may consider the relative date ranges option. These are dates you can choose on a sliding scale, for example, today, yesterday, last 7 days, and so on. In this example, I'm going to input 7 days because we want to run the query for the last 7 days. Next up, we have Report Currency, where we can select the local currency we prefer to use in viewing the report. If you don't select a report currency, then the Ad Exchange will simply use your AdX default settings instead. If you'd like to create filters in your report, consider selecting the optional field Dimension Filters. These represent the rows in your report, delineated by data groupings. For example, you can select the time units criteria under Dimension Filters to filter the report rows by days, weeks, or months. You can also create filters by inventory segments, such as channels, sites, DFP ad units, tags, pricing rules, and URLs. You can even filter the rows of your report by geography, which will be broken out by country. As you select your dimension filters, they will be added into the right-hand box and included in the report. The next element we must determine in our query is whether we want a hierarchical table or a flat table in the report. After determining the table, it's time to select our report metrics. This is where the real fun is, and we can decide what metrics will be displayed in our columns. Just a few of the report metrics we can choose from include CTR, clicks, and estimated revenue. There are many more. The metrics classified into 5 categories: standard metrics, active view metrics, bid metrics, video metrics, and deals metrics. For any metric you'd like to include in your report, simply checkmark the box alongside it. I'm going to checkmark the standard metrics, which will include the ad tags detail. We are nearing the end of the line for creating a query. The final step is at the bottom of the page under Scheduled Reports setting. This is where we can decide whether to schedule the report to run periodically, whether we want to share the report with other AdExchange users within our account, or whether we want to share the report with external parties. After reviewing all of your settings and metric inclusions, it's time to click Run Report. In this lesson, we created a query in the Google AdExchange, inputting our own metrics and parameters. We created and ran a report that included a relative date range for the last 7 days and included the standard metrics, which will include the ad tag's detail. Experiment creating reports with a variety of metrics and parameters. We think you'll quickly discover that query reports are a great way to learn more about your AdExchange inventory.
That concludes our video for today. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to get updates on our latest videos. See you next time!